Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, my beloved sisters. Hope all of you are doing well. Inshallah, we'll continue with the permanent qualities. We did already the permanent qualities which has opposites, and now we are starting the second group, which is the permanent qualities which has no opposites. We are starting with the qalqala, and we already covered the qalqala in the basic course of the tajweed we took together, the simplified tajweed course, and now we are just revising this. We mentioned the qalqala is that we are separating between the two organs forming the letter after we directly have the meeting between those two organs. For example, if it is the ba, so we have the meeting between the upper and the lower lip. After we directly meet them together, we separate directly between them without adding fatha or dhamma or kesra or any vowel. So we just say aba, 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 this way. And this qalqala is applied on the letters qutub, jad, qaf, ta, ba, jim and dal. We mentioned that we have levels of the qalqala or degrees of the qalqala. We mentioned the greatest qalqala is the first one and the strongest, the longest one in case we stop on a doubled letter like al-haq. In that case, the qaf is taking longer time, the qalqala here, and it's also more strong. The next level was the the greater qalqala, and it is here the case we are stopping on the qalqala letter, but it is not doubled. For example, khalaqa. Here we see it is strong, still strong. It is long, but it's not for sure compared to the al-haq. In case of al-haq, it is more strong and more long. The last degree is the lesser qalqala in case we are not stopping on the letter. Okay, so it may be in the middle of the word, maybe at the end. For example, قد كان, here you see قد is not for sure the same like الحق or خلق. Yeah, so here in that case we have it the lowest level, very weak, and also is very short. Yeah, these are the cases of the qalqala we took, and that we can say one of the permanent qualities that we should add to the letters all the time, the letters of the qalqala, and it has no opposite. The next quality, which is maybe something new we didn't take before, which we call الصفير. الصفير, my beloved sisters, is the Arabic word means the whistling, to whistle, and is simply understood like the sound of the birds. They are doing the same sound. So it means to whistle, and it is a natural occurrence of a whistle, like sound emitted while pronouncing, like whistle sound emitted while pronouncing the letters. So this is like how the birds is doing the same sound, like that sound, and in order to apply and to produce it, you have to do by intention, because some students they are shy to apply this or to do this to show the safir, but actually this is a characteristic for the letter. You have to make it by intention, like to show like you are whistling. Yeah, like that way. And in order to apply this correctly, we have to make sure we are putting the tongue on the right place. Here we are using, as we mentioned in the makharij, the head of the tongue is meeting the lower teeth, as we mentioned, and it is very close to the lower teeth. This is the place where we produce the safir letters. Those letters are sin, sad, and zay. Sin, sad, and zay are all close to the lower teeth. They are not in the same place, but they are all close to the lower teeth. But we have to do something which is very important. We have to leave a small gap in between the tongue and the lower teeth, and this is the place where we will have the whistle sound produced, because if you didn't leave a space, now we are closing the makhraj completely, you will not be able to produce the sound of the whistling. So there is a small gap in between the tongue and the lower teeth, so we can produce the sound of the safir or the whistling. If you didn't leave this gap, as I told you, you will not be able to show the whistling. The other thing is you have to put to clarify the sad, the sin, and the zay in their makhraj, because some other students they are not using the head of the tongue actually, but they may be using the middle part of the tongue, so it is produced like sheen, ash, like that. Why she's doing that? Because she's using her middle part of the tongue. She is not focusing on using just the head of the tongue, and this is the problem we face with the students, that they are not focusing about what they are doing. Now we are doing seen, so you just need to use the head of the tongue, not the middle part, because if you use the middle part also in addition to the head, it will be sheen instead of seen. And we also should know about yes, that those all letters صاد سين and zai, they are all having the softness رخاوة. We should leave them to run. Yeah, as as yeah. So this way is showing more the characteristics for those letters. What else we should know? We should know that the letters seen is very weak. It has hams, it has air produced, it is running, it is light. So in this letter, we have to care about showing up. It's very weak letter if compared to the zai, as the zai is not including the air produced. And we can say the most strong one of those letters is the sad, because it is heavy. And we can say also there is adhesion in case of sad, if you remember the adhesion al-itbaq. So we not produce air with the sad. Yeah. So here, sorry, we produce air with the sad, but there is itbaq and there is heaviness. So the sad is more strong than the sin and the zai. But what we should be careful about the most is the sin, as it includes many of the weak characteristics like the hems, the running of the air and continuation of the air, and also the continuation of the sound. Yeah, and it is light, as we mentioned. Yeah, that's all about الصفير. Inshallah, we will send you a practicing on this, so you make sure you apply this correctly. جزاكم الله خير.